Thank you so much, Book Publicity Services Inc., for providing me a copy of We the People in exchange for my thoughts and opinions. Hi, hello, welcome. I'm Ruth, and let's get into it. This story is a political thriller set in the not so distant future of America, where America is run by a fascist regime or dictatorship. And we have a couple people who are rising up for the challenge to fight against the government. And these characters are named Luna. She used to be an FBI agent. Her brother, Juan, who is a computer whiz, and Jake, who used to work in writing for the newspaper. And now he wants to fight with them in their cause. So he is the expert in writing, written media, and propaganda and things like that. So I didn't know what to expect when getting into this book. So obviously, being sent, I did get to read a little bit of the excerpt, but then, once you start reading the book, then you really find out the meat and how it makes you feel. So first thing is, I wasn't expecting this book to be the way it was. I guess I was expecting it to be in some sort of alternate universe, but of course it's set in the not so distant American future. So that was one I think was already a red flag for me, and I'll later in the video I'll explain why. I will start off by saying two good things about the book here. First thing is the realistic dialogue between the characters, because this is exactly what I see in social media, whether these are by bot accounts or actual humans writing on social media, but this is exactly what you would see, the type of words they use, and how they speak to each other. So on point. The second thing is learning the differences between a regular jury and citizen jury. So I thought that was very interesting. I won't go into details about those differences, but you can just look it up, and I think it's a good conversation to have around the table, maybe between friends and family. But I think it's a very thought-provoking subject to talk about and interesting. So definitely love that the author put that in there, something new I didn't even know. So love learning new things. So unfortunately, there's a lot of cons that I've written in this book, or notes that unfortunately this book was not for me. So one thing, what I mentioned about maybe this being in an alternative universe, maybe I would have liked it a little bit better. But I think because it was so tied to what's going on right now, that it's hard to feel this divisive feeling. It just makes me feel this book is very divisive just because of the topics that are being talked about. So, for example, hot button topics: climate change, um, ICE, immigration, tyrannical government, uh, fascism, right? So these are all topics that are kind of being talked about now. And so for me, when reading a book, I kind of like to break away from real life. And so by reading this book, I felt like I was just back in real life. Um, and I think if this was set in a different universe, but taken some elements of the issues that are going on in America, maybe it would be a little bit different. But again, because of how close the issue is, I feel this book is very divisive in that sense. And also the way the book was written. So, for example, there are some passages in the book that I felt like the book was telling me what to think versus giving me scenarios and then having me come to my own conclusions about certain traits of characters from these people, like their actions, like, what are they doing that are making me feel this way, versus someone telling me they are a bad person. So if I'm meeting you for the first time and you're telling me that this person's a bad person, but I don't really know this person, or I don't know why are they a bad person, and so then it makes me feel like you who are telling me that this person is a bad person, you are already your credibility is already kind of weakened because of your statement. And I felt like there was a lot of passages like that in the book that was just telling me how to think, and I don't like that. I like to come to my own conclusions. And I won't say where in the book, but I also felt like there was some kind of unrealistic scenes that was being described. And so that also kind of took away from this being a believable story and outcomes. I did notice a couple grammar and punctuation missing. However, that did not take away from the story, and that doesn't bother me if that happens. I understand if you are selling something, then you'd want to publish a polished version with no mistakes if possible. But for me, I'm not perfect in grammar and punctuation, so I feel like I can't say anything, but I can understand from people's perspective. If you're buying something, it should hopefully be perfect. Those are my thoughts, and I'm going to rate this book a 1 star. Please let me know your thoughts. Did you like this book? Didn't you like this book? Did you have any favorite characters? Please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next book. Happy reading.